Some time has passed and we finally got the rest of chapter 271, JJK's finale, so let's give you a proper summary video. So the chapter starts off and they're in the apartment of the girl who's seeing her boyfriend with the goofy bug looking eyes. Nobara starts it off by saying she didn't find a cursed seal or a marking anywhere on the girl. Then they start brainstorming, thinking about what the cursed technique could be and what its possible range is. Megami comes up with a genius plan to have them go visit their friend and using the tall building to their advantage by getting them to the top as quick as they can to get them out of the technique's range, and they'll have Ajichi watch the door. That way when the curse user moves to get them back within the range, they can see who it is. When the plan gets set into motion, the girl looks at her boyfriend and acknowledges that his face is back to normal. Nobara spots the curse user and springs into action, and Yuji isn't too far behind. When they get within his range, they both kind of get some silly looking faces. While Yuji and Nobara are looking silly, Megami jumps in and he uses Divine Dog Totality to catch the curse user off guard and subdues him. After they have the curse user cuffed, he starts screaming about who do you think bought you that bag. It turns out that she was a hostess and he tipped her really good. Bro's being weird thinking he tipped her good and she owes him something. Yuji starts talking to the curse user, then it flashes back to Gojo and Yuji during the training before the fight with Sukuna. I'm just going to read the translation right here so I don't leave anything out. Yuji says, I thought that after Kusakabe I'd do switch training with you, Gojo-sensei. Gojo says, I guess that'd be fine, but how do I put this? Haven't we had enough, Gojo Satoru? Yuji says, what? Then Gojo says, I want you to be a bit more forward thinking. Think about the future, Yuji. And here's the part that might make you cry. Gojo says, sure, there's a dream I want you to carry on in my wake should anything happen to me. But if this is where I blow out, there will be a time where you guys grow up more than I ever did, right? I think there should be at least one among you who forgets about me and develops strength completely different from that of my own. Yuji says, none of us could ever forget you. You seem kinda out of character. You're sounding a little timid. Are you okay? Gojo says, ha, you're such a kid. This is confidence. Confidence I've never had before. I'm expecting great things from you. Got that, Yuji? Gege putting in a moment of Gojo being real sentimental to his students. That's perfect. It pans back to Yuji talking to the curse user, and Yuji, being the great guy he is, tries to console him. Yuji says, you acknowledge what you did was wrong and that's all that matters. Take some time to reflect, then come help us on our next mission. Then that page finishes with our trio talking, and they ask Yuji, what'd you do with that thing, referring to Sukuna's finger, and Yuji says, oh, I tossed it. Nobara and Megami are a little worried, but Yuji says, it's not like that thing's dangerous anymore. It'll be the perfect talisman. Then we get something a little fun. We have Mahito and Sukuna talking in what's called the pathway, and I'll just put the translation up so we can read it. Mahito says, howdy Sukuna, who would have thought I'd see you down here? Sukuna says, well, what's this, our second conversation? Mahito replies, my technique messes with the soul after all. Consider this a vestige. Welcome to the pathway souls walk on their way down the cycle. I meant to ask you, you were lying, weren't you? To yourself and to the others. You weren't living according to your own stature. You wanted revenge. Revenge against those who resented and persecuted that cursed, unwanted little wretch. Sukuna says, what's the difference? Living the only way I knew how. That's how I chose to go on. Actually, no, I did have different paths to walk. 2 to be precise. And yet I couldn't help but spit out the curses stirring deep within my viscera. I feared my own curse would immolate me. Should there be a next time, perhaps it would be nice to walk a different path. Mahito says, that's so boring, you've gone soft, asshole. Sukuna says, obviously, I lost after all. Mahito says, what? So I'm the only one left sulking like a child? God damn it. And then he kind of just fades into an abyss. And to get a happy walking off into the sunset with all the different groups of students. Before I go on to the last page, kind of peep Inamaki's hair right there. The color's a little wild to me. Then on the last page, we go back to where our story first started. And the door kind of creaks open, but I'm not going to start copium right now. But it creaks open and inside we see Sukuna's finger. With the box open like that, it looks like Yuji put the finger back where our story first started, kind of a full circle moment. And our final editor's note. Thank you so much for reading these past 6 years. Please look forward to Gege Akutami's next work. Volumes 29 and 30 will be released together on December 25th. I know there's a lot of sadness because our blue-eyed king didn't make his return. But at the end of the day, I can't really be mad at Gege because for the most part, he was able to write this story the way he wanted to, and I'm happy for him. I get that might be an unpopular opinion at the moment, but we gotta let the chapter just marinate for a little while. With that, our final leak day comes to a close, and I just want to thank all of you guys for all the love and support and giving me this platform to make these videos for you, and I really hope to see you guys again in the future sometime.